Hey everyone, we're going to take a look at the first official results from a major tournament in Set 10. This is the Chiho Cup in Himeji, and this all has already been updated on VG Paradox. So if you want to see those decks and just easily click them, go check it out. He's got them all up. Fuzzy's got them all up really fast as always, so give him the kudos. We're going to take a look at the nice graphic that Busher usually does make at the end of Swiss. But if you want to know who actually won the tournament, then the top 4 in the VG Paradox side is always updated with the correct top 4. So, you know, the first place here might not be the first place that came first. But what we're going to do, we're going to go through both blocks. It was so big, there were actually 2 blocks, and go through some of the more interesting decks or some of the more interesting techs that seems to have shown up and kind of infer what's going on. Now, there is a diversity cut for Chiho Cups as always, so if you don't know what that is, it's just that if your deck shows up in the undefeated, the X0 side, then it penalizes everyone else who brings that specific deck in the X1 side. So, for example, here you can see Liel Draconis was in a team that went undefeated. Everyone else who brings a Liel Draconis in their team has a less chance of making top cut. Let's put it that way. And, you know, the more decks that you have in your team that is already represented in top cut, then in the X0 side, then you have an even lesser chance of making top cut. So that is a sad life, right? That is a sad life, but that is how Japan works. So first off, we're just going to go through Block A and kind of go through the interesting decks each side. Again, Liel Draconis, they're very hyped, but how much did it show up? So far, not so much, right? Not so much. Some interesting takes here is that, you know, Seraph came undefeated, which is crazy. Heart Lulu still strong. Varga, Artesaria, all of these are just like, you know, 2 Vargas in the undefeated side. Maybe there's something there that we should take a look at. But like things that are already considered very strong is like Minerva, Heart Lulu, Bav Saga. This is basically like these 3 are like basically the meta team. Like these guys, these 3 in 4th place. After that, we got the Virgil, also another strong contender for like undefeated, you know, top cuts slots, really strong slots. Alita Glima still making it as well, even though it got hit heavily with that Moe Flash to 1. So it will be interesting to see how that turns out, but this one is pretty crazy, right? But yeah, you know, you got the normal Heart Lulu Avas. This guy just making all the Ava players feel bad. The diversity cut starts at 8th place because you see that these 3 decks are just totally not represented in the top 7. And we can see something like a Magnus, right? Sibylt, Weisruger. Weisruger is actually not that bad. We've seen Weisrugers do well in unofficial tournaments. It's probably got the biggest glow up out of everything in Set 10. So kind of interesting to see it not make top cut, right? We don't have a Weisruger in the X0. I mean, not make X0 side, I mean. But then after that, we have like Leonor, you know, Deep Hole. Yeah. We still have like Ava Musicas. Blangdamire, I'm surprised Blangdamire is like not that big of a pick. I know a lot of other players think Blangdamire is not very good. I think it's half decent if Liel is not super popular. Like in teams it's even better because there's less of a chance of you fighting the elite Liel. Just because Liel just auto wins against Blangdamire, right? Just it should be an auto. It should be an auto win. If it's not, then I don't know. You're probably doing something wrong. But yeah, there's 2 Zorgas here, quite surprising. I don't know what's so good about Zorga now that makes you want to take it compared to the other, like any other pick that you can pick. And then there's like Herminia, Tamiyura. Tamiyura's usually not that interesting. Like it's still the same stuff most of the time, right? But then even like a Bastion making it. So let's kind of look at the decks. So first off, this is the Heart Lulu deck. Nothing really changed. It's a very standard list. You pick between a combination. You got like 1 Carbuncle auto searches. A lot of people run 4. Even though like your whole deck searches 3 of the orders, they always run like a lot of them run like 4 copies, just so like they can confirm they always get that that like 4th copy. Otherwise, their game plan's kind of like average, right? But then I've seen people run Philias as well, so it's not the end of the world if you run 4. But then after that, we have the Bav Saga. So what has really changed in Bav Saga? Not really much. They only got an OT nerf, but if you're playing your previous builds of Bav Saga, you're fine with playing it how it is. There's like, I think there's like 2 builds at the moment. One is running the Kick Shanties and the Samadhis. The other one is not. If you're an English player, then this is probably what you're looking at. You're picking either the Kick Shanties, Samadhis, Or just like replacing this like Shenries, right? If you just put in Shenries and just call it a day. 2 Mace is back, right? 2 Mace is back, and like that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. The deck still plays as it did before, right? Next is just the Minerva. So Minerva, I'm just putting this out there. This is a very like straightforward build for us when this comes out. Unfortunately, I think it's just weaker because we don't get to run the Nebula Order, and the Nebula Order is so good you don't really need to run any other package. It's just an insanely good order. But yeah, you just run super generics and just like your Minerva stuff. So nothing's really changed going into set 10. So not gonna look too deep into these Minervas, right? Virgila, same deal, right? Same deal. We're missing certain cards. We're missing basically this Cosmos. We're missing one of the orders. But apart from that, like, our deck is kind of the same. The order's actually pretty big, being able to... the new ultimate skill, this one doesn't require CB, so I think that's actually very big. And since these cards come back, this is also pretty big. So yeah, I feel like we're missing some major things that kind of push Virgila a bit to the top end. But so far, this build really also hasn't really changed in Japan. So we're just gonna, like, what works, right? So we're just kind of go through this one. But yeah, we have a Elite. So this is the first interesting take on Elite Gleamer. So Moe Flash is now to 1. So how do they compensate? So I feel like you can't play a super degen game anymore where you go, I'm not running heal. So I think it's correct to run some heals. They're only running 3. And they're only running 1 PG. So not fully degen, but I still think it's rather degen because technically speaking, Bat did get a buff where they got the new Brandgate Teeth Felt, basically. So this, I guess, can help you dig for your one-off Moe Flash or other important parts, or you just play like a normal game of Vanguard, but then at some point you can switch to a super ridiculous game of Vanguard where, you know, you're not playing, unless you get the Moe Flash early, you're not playing Yu-Gi-Oh! But when you do get to play Yu-Gi-Oh! But I guess instead of just, like, one of the really annoying things with Bat is that when they popped off, like, the moment they rode grade 3, they could just kill you, right, before you could play a game. But what hasn't changed is the games where they brick on their first grade 3 turn and they play a lame game, but then on their second grade 3 turn with the Persona Blast, that's when they can still pop off and kill you. And I think that kind of hasn't changed because getting 2 plays of your bats can kind of like, is kind of like the tipping point from where it becomes you know, good to like super good, right? And now that you have more monsters to kind of dig more of your cards, and the monsters itself dig orders, so it's not like you're compressing your deck in a way to get your Moe Flash. So I feel like it's not bad. I feel like it's not like totally dead. The killing power is still there. It can still kill you, right? Just getting to that killing part is less explosive. It's like a bit more linear, except for the like games where they draw that they're one-off, and then it can become really really stupid. So kind of interesting to see the Elite Gleamer still here. Not too happy about it, but the less times I see an Elite Gleamer at a tournament, the better. All right, I think that's the good takeaway from this. We also have the Vice-Ruger. So Vice-Ruger, the main thing is just that it got its grade 1. This grade 1 does a lot. It's the counter charging. And then you can, like, yeah, it's like the creator card. It's the creator card of the set. It does mean that, like, you run less of the birds, which is good. It allows you to run more of the orders. Well, yeah, more of the orders. Got a new order as well that is pretty slick. That makes your stuff, you know, have even better kills. So I've seen a lot of people start playing this, and it's good to see. It's finally able to be good. So yeah, cool. Next, we do have the Seraph. So nothing really has changed too much with the Seraph. This one's not even running the new Ace unit at all. It's just Seraph with, I guess, this new grade 2. This is not even new though, right? It's from set 7. So not even any new cards. So I don't know. Like, your ride line is still kind of average. You don't really plus or anything. So yeah, I'm surprised to see like there's quite a few Seraphs. Maybe people just forgot how to play against Prison in terms of what is good, like what Prison is good against. I guess it can be kind of annoying to Bav Sagra, but even so, it's like Bav Sagra just beats everything pretty normally. So I don't know. I feel like I guess against restanders, your order is pretty good. Your blitz order is pretty good. Against Virgila, if you can take away their Virgilas from Soul, they just feel like big sad, right? They feel big sad. So maybe there's like better. It's better than I thought. Right? Better than I thought. I guess it's pretty defensive, right? Like this, you got a grade 2 PG here, so you got more, technically like more fake PGs, so more ways to like be defensive against your opponent. So I guess there's a plus going for that. A Levidras, so nothing really new in Levidras. Levidras just two charm nets. That's it. No new cards. Literally no new cards. So that's that. Liel Draco. So this is the big hype of the set. So far we haven't seen Liel that much. Even in unofficial tournaments, I don't think we've seen it that much. When I look at top decks, again, last week there wasn't that many. This week maybe different. We'll have to take a look. But the real winner again was Vaisruga. I think the surprising part is the heavy grade 3 count. We have 3 Gabrielas. I think a lot of people when they were building their deck, they went like 3 Gabrielas. Okay, we can kind of build our decks around that. But then 4 OG Liels. This one is a bit, do you really need 4? But the extra PG is really good, so you can play a super grindy game, right? But yeah, so like I guess the 4 Liels is the surprising part. 3 Gabrielas, okay. There's a reason why its price has gone up a lot. And then the rest is like your Sergions. Did we really expect you not to run that? Nebula Knight, well, do we really expect you not to run that? And then just like if you think about it that way, your spaces are limited to just your normal Liel support that you got from the new set, and then one of the old ones, right? One of the old ones from DB2 02. So that's it. That's it. I guess the interesting part is this guy only running 3 normal PGs. So I guess that's the takeaway. You run 3 normal PGs and then 4 Liel PGs. And technically speaking, the Liel PGs can be better because they don't have Sentinel written on them, so they're not stuck by Sentinel restrict. And if you expect a lot of like Blade Demise, then yeah, Sentinel bad, Liel good, right? So again, we have an interesting take. We got Magnus. So the one-off Magnus. So they run 1 Magnus, 3 Persona Ride, and 4 Ignis. I don't know. That's a bit interesting. That's a bit interesting. In the end, like it's an Ignis build, but it has so much grade 3s here. Like I guess like these still work with Ignis because like Drajulds can become any kind of grade to Soul Blast out, but like this one only, well, I guess if you have this, so this is like a 15k shield. So this is not exactly a fail shield, right? It's like a fake grade 3, but it is a grade 3. But this lineup is, I'm not too. Does this one get shield? Okay, it gets 5k. Is 5k shield real? I don't think it is. I don't think 5k shield is that real. So you have a lot of, but. No Tiz cars. But your energy, I guess your energies go out for this. So, okay. Like, I'm not a huge fan of this, I'll be honest. Sybil, big fan of Sybil though. Nah, I'm only a big fan of this starter. Yeah, Sybil's coming out like with 3 of this. I mean, it's a nice fun deck, I'd have to say. But I think there's a lot of decks better than this. So works pretty well with this diversity card. Then we have the Shiranui. So I kind of want to take a look at the modern build of Shiranui, and it is kind of interesting. We have a new card from DB209, and I've seen this a few times already, but this kind of just refunds itself and builds Soul. So it's technically like a half Cody Blaze but yeah. Also like a clan support, but I didn't. Do they really think this would be fitting in for Shiranui? I don't know. But yeah, no, I've seen people run 4x of these. Actually, no, they do have the restanders. So they still have the restanders. I guess they replace some of the. Well, this is kind of the Shenri replacement. But just more ways to kind of filter out cards is pretty good. the Shenry replacement. This is like a PR that came out recently. I think from... Is it from Skyride or Youthquake? One of those people. I think it's Skyride, right? And then, yeah, you get to... It gets power. You get like a... Like, I think it's a top 5 search for grade 2 or higher. So this is pretty good. It searches for your Re-Standards. It searches for your Esmeraldas. So that works out pretty nice, and the rest of the deck really hasn't changed too much. It hasn't really changed. Well, you don't get to run 4 defensing rolls. That's it, right? After that, we also have the Zorgas. So there were 2 Zorgas that we saw. Like this one seems like a pretty standard Zorga. I'm not gonna lie. You got a new kind of super generic that allows you to make a board and then eat it, so you get to refund costs. But in the end, this is just still a normal Nadir build, right? And you know. Like, I just need double. Yeah, it's just normal Nadir builds. You get PGs, you farm PGs with the Shadow Cloaks, and that's still about it. Do you get a good rush going? If you dump the RPDs early, I guess you can get a half decent rush going with your super generics, or I guess, but nothing really. I don't know. Some of these picks, like even though there was diversity, they don't explode to me like why you'd pick this over anything else. But this is the second. We have the second one as well. This one's running a mix, like a 3-1 mix between the... Is it a snail? Was it like the snail and the RPD? And then you have a few different choices. So we have like 3x of the super generic. You always run 4 of the cloak. We have 3x of the super generic. And then we have like 1 copy of a bunch of other cards that... I guess it's kind of like a toolbox. You can play it like a toolbox. You know, build soul. You got the... It's the butcher. I think it's the butcher, right? But yeah, you have a few different like one-offs that you can kind of tutor. Well, not tutor, but like use as like a toolbox. And the order's like the same thing too. So again, like I'm not too 100% sure on Zorga. I feel like there's still better picks. This one does farm PGs, but are we really playing in a format like since everything gets like multi-attack and high numbers now, is just farming PG is good. Like the PG farming is good against like 3-attack decks or low attack decks, but with everything becoming so similar, is it really that good? I don't know. I guess again it dodges diversity, right? And then after that we have the Bastion. So new Bastion, I think they got a new card from 10, right? And this one is like just better Alden. I think it's just better Alden. Instead of CB2, Soulblast 1, draw 2, you're like just CB1, Soulblast 1, draw 1. And yeah, like it's like, well, this is Alden support as well, but old Alden got 5k for each attack. This one just gets 5k attack and shield and intercept if you have Bastion. So you don't get the higher power numbers, but I don't think the extra 5k is the most important thing you have to worry about. When you just have better cards that get like better powers, and this one is making your hand better. Over, I guess it's new grade 2 from 10 as well, but this gets a grade +1, so it's like fake. It's a fake grade 2. But yeah, so a few Bastion supports, I guess, but I guess it's good to see Bastion back. Like OG Bastion fans will know. But yeah, it's interesting to see this back. And then the last of the decks we're going to take a quick look. It's just Herminia. Herminia. I think they got a new PR. So this is like PR 1274. So it's been PR City. Okay, it's been PR City. But yeah, new PR that makes Herminia better. So that's kind of it. I think that's the main takeaway, right? None of these are new PRs. They're like, there's like an old PR, and that's kind of it. So yeah, Herminia. All right, cool. Let's look at Block B. All right, Block B, we have still the same, like this again. Carrot, Yamato, and Iron. You guys picked the best lineup in my opinion. I guess it's funny, like I haven't mentioned this, but people do have mixed opinions of Vigilia. Either Vigilia is really good or it's like overrated. So let me know in the comments what you think. Do you think it's a good or overrated deck? And bear in mind, this is JP, so there are a lot of other picks that you can choose apart from Vigilia. But yeah, second place ran a similar lineup except with Prison. And then third place went totally different. This Magnus, this Dragul, is ruining all the other Dragul chances. They took this Lial as well. This guy took away a lot of Lial chances, and then a Vigilia, and then another meta build with the Minervas. And then Viceruga, and then Astartion third choice, Braven as well. Like, these are all picking like 2 meta decks and then 1 non-meta deck, but like you can tell that the 2 meta decks are still in the X0 line because there's just so many of them. But in 8th place, again, this is where the diversity card picks in because these 3 are all new decks, right? They're all new decks. In terms of like the third deck choice, like, yeah, Viceruga, Astartion, Braven, all relatively solid picks. Yeah, the only outlier I'd say is this, because you're picking like 2 picks that are not exactly confirmed to be super meta, but there is an argument if you think Liao is one of the stronger ones. But in terms of the undefeated side, like, you can easily see like in the undefeated side how many of these decks are considered really good. Liao only showing up once means it's not really considered by a lot of players to be that good, right? So overrated, as some people would say. But yeah, Empoleon seems to be really nice. They got some like extra attack support, right? And the Youthbeg and the Kyrie. And then we have some of the Mygos still showing up. Blangdemeyer and Chris Rain, right? Chris Rain. We have a Jackknife. I know this name because I watched VG Paradox, so I can know the name of it. But this is like the only buddy fight deck as well that popped up. Yeah, Razile. Razile? Wow, okay. Alicia Fail. Yeah, and then also in the last time we have Artisaria. More Blangdemeyers, a Shoujo Doji, an Orphist as well, and another Alita Gleamer. Right? Another Alita Gleamer. That's crazy. Let's kind of look at the decks now. So first we have the deck that came first. Was actually Jackknife. Their team came first. I still don't know much about Buddy Fight. I probably should, because this collab is actually coming out in English. Again, I just don't have that much interest in it. That's just me, right? That's just me. Maybe if I ever go to Singapore, people will make me play it. Second was the Razile. This one is pretty crazy. It did get a new card from DBT10. So 1 Razile support, but still on like the... I guess because everything... Well, not everything else got hit. Alita Glimmer got hit, you know, Bav got a slight hit. So there is space for like a third deck, but otherwise you're like... Liao also not as good as expected, so interesting. Ryan line just reverting back to the OG Ryan line, not another grade 1 to search Sergon, because you can't search Sergon, right? So yeah, just running the grade 1 there. And then yeah, I guess Pararunes, I guess super generics, like better painkiller angel, right? So this, I guess this is kind of works out if you manage a solo kit, but I guess you do want to soul blast anyway because this goes to soul. So okay, interesting take, but not that many Reziles anyway, right? And then third was that Virgila, so first place team Virgila, running a bit of an extra order, none of the 2 order shenanigans that we see from a lot of players. This one ran an extra one, but also we have some of the extra cards that not normally run, like, because they don't run the G zone, the anti G zone like grade 3 searcher. They can just replace it with like Shenri's and 4x of the Flare Cosmos, but also running 1 card from the new set as well, the new TD, and this one just is more shield, extra bind, and gives your as well. Well, if your as well attacks, this gets 5k. So I guess it's like a slightly big beater. I guess the slot they do take out is 1 copy of that Persona, because I guess at some point, when you ride enough of your rewrites, your alphas. Alpha Knights, I mean, you make up for the lack of Persona Rhyme? Kind of, right? Kind of. So, okay. Varga, so a few Vargas showed up. This one is just like a very normal Varga, nothing too crazy, except for the 4x PR that we see now that can kind of, I guess, search for pretty important pieces, like anything above this, right? Not Tizcars, but this is a Farharts. You got, yeah, Shuras. Searching for a Shura would be pretty good, just to make sure you can make big plays. Searching for your Vargas is pretty good as well, because then you have a game. But yeah, I think those are the main pieces. And your grade 1 lineup is still relatively solid as to what it was before. And then next is the Blangdemeyers. So we have the Blangdemeyers actually got kind of interesting. So first off, with Liao being so hyped, you're like, maybe Blangdemeyer is not going to be played that much, because Liao's not played as much. People have been going back to the Blangdemeyer. Blangdemeyer has been changing itself up. It got a new support from set 10. This is pretty much like the Colossus, except it doesn't draw. Instead, it gives power. So this is... the conditions are relatively the same, right? It can get 10k if you Energy Blast 2. But if you've like 4 or more in the bind zone, you don't have to pay energy blaster, so you just get 10k. And then at the end of the battle, it goes to soul. And then when it goes to soul, you can bind a face down, and you give something like plus 5k, a regard plus 5k. But if you have 8 or more cards in the face and binds with face down, you give 10k instead. So I guess like they're running a lot of grade 3s now. So you have like the Nexus, you have the Colossus, and you have the clown looking this. What is it? Bombing Juggler. Right? So you have the Juggler, you got the Colossus, and then like that is a lot of in the Asian as well. That's a lot of non-shields, right? But I guess the 10k can be nice just on your kill turn when you just want to buff this dude, right? Buff your Zamoog more, because Zamoog can be pretty weak, and also running the Juggler means you might not need to run the order package, and I think the order package is kind of needed but sucks at the same time, right? It's kind of bricky, but if you don't have it, you lose reach. But now that you don't need it, you can run a bit more consistency, I guess. So, and then this one can work in that you just throw it down, it disappears, but then you can pop it to like give another regard more power, and that allows you to push for more damage. You can kind of make your kill turn slightly better. So, I guess it's fine. I guess it's fine. It's interesting to see this run at 4 though. Right, 4 though. Yeah, and then the next one we do have is that Braven. So, Braven collab deck. We're getting it in English, so don't feel too bad, right? It's good. It's coming soon. Again, another prison. Nothing really too crazy. I guess the main pick seems to be like 3 of this, 3 of the violet, and then 2 of the heart, right? Melting heart. So that 5x defensive power can be pretty nice, but then the rest of the deck is pretty much what it was before. So okay, pretty cool. And then another one of these Magnus decks. This was only running 2 of the Magnus, but running a bunch of other stuff too. Like it's not that different. They're running Draco Kids. One of the what was the maid called again? Was it Falcotia? But yeah, another Magnus. Nothing too insane. I mean Ignis. It should just be Ignis. And then Draconis. So another Draconis. This one is going 4x. Oh, this guy is a money Draconis. All right. But yeah, 4x of the Gab. All right. Higher. This is like, I'm pretty sure this is max rarity, right? 4x, 4 FRI line. You got the cool looking card. Even this one is crazy. This one is crazy hard to get. Be covered up with the Yowls. But yeah, again, another like heavy grade 3 count. And then what else do you plug in? Well, you know, you have the super generics here, but then you have like the rest of the pile stuff. You have the Nebula Knight Order Sergion. And when you add all that up, right, even these things deluxe, wow. If you add all that up, you don't really have much spots. They're not even running the energy charge grade 1 that's from DBT 10. But yeah, okay. They're actually not running. Is this any new support? I don't think they're running any new support. Basically, a lot of old before DB10 support. So interesting. After that is the Vice-Trigger. So kind of similar, extra defensive power. You have new card, 8 copies of that. It's different from the other one that we saw before, right? The other one was running more. They're running 4 of this order and 1 of this order, right? But then they ran. Oh no, sorry. There's like 3 here. No, this is the moon. No, sorry. This is just a different one. So yeah, but only 1 defensive order is, I guess, the main takeaway. I think the other one ran a couple of more, but also means you can run more birds. They're running more birds. So okay, nice. Astashon, another Astashon list, and this one is similar to before, like the other one. You know, your Astashon around, they can't change, but yeah, a lot of tokens here, because these go to soul, and then these kind of this makes tokens, lets you rush, get your cards back. So I guess the Soul Blast is the only bad part of it, but yeah, it's such a strong card. I think you can find your way around it, right? Kyrie. So what has changed in nothing really has changed in Kyrie. It's just a very normal Kyrie build. I just want to take a peek of it because in case something changed, but it really hasn't. Nothing crazy. And then Youthberg, this is just an exist build, but very standard, right? Very standard Youthberg build that we've seen before. This is just the new Caterpillar that I've been talking about. This one went like, you know, with the new Nebula Knight, you have the Surgeon and the Galatine. These all work very well together. Still got the Teeth Felts to kind of call everything in the super generic. So, yeah, big pile list. Youthberg, big pile list. Empoleon with 4x of the Rainbow Cyclers. So I guess like still has the good old big defensive power plays, but now you have 3 of the new Restanders. So I guess having a 4 attack is still better than having 3 attacks. So that's nice. That's how you fit in. You only need 3 for Empoleon. Blangnamai again. This one is running 2 of the jugglers, so less, not 4, but only 2. But again, you can see in the absence of the order package here. So I guess that's just how it is, right? Replace the order package with more jugglers. The jugglers give power and kind of push for just like being slightly. You can use it to push, and you can use it to on your finishing turn to get even more power. So I think that kind of worked itself out pretty well. After that is the Chris Rain. Actually, I'm surprised. I've seemed to have played more Chris Rain these past couple of weeks than I have any time before. But yeah, Chris Rain seems. I was like, to be honest, when Chris Rain first out, I was a Copa. I wanted to believe that it could be good, but it hasn't been doing that crazy. But recently, maybe it's time to give this a bit of a go back to this. Go back and take a look at the deck, right? It has like multi attacks now. It's not stuck behind just 3 attacks and divine skill. It's got better energy outlets to use all that extra energy you got. So yeah, it seems pretty good. It seems not bad now. A Messiah. So the Messiah is pretty similar to before, except they're running more cards that add more shield. So this one is like CB1, and you can call something call a non-over trigger from your drop to the Guardian Circle. So yeah, extra shield is cool, right? Extra shield. There's no restrictions on what you can call apart from that over trigger. So I guess you can call PGs too. Oh no, there is no shit. So you call a trigger, right? You call a trigger. So you'll call like a soul in trigger, or you can call a front power trigger. Because I guess you can call PGs super OP, right? But yeah, here you can like 5 plus 15, 20k shield. It works out pretty well. You put in a soul in trigger, you get to draw a card. So you run 2 of that, and they're running 2 of this like dog. So this one goes into soul 2, but it's also like a 10k shield. So that's nice, right? 10k shield, nice number to hit, goes in the soul. When it's on the rear guard, you can put this unit to the soul. So yeah, extra draw, right? Extra draw when something's unlocked. Then after that, another Elite Glimmer. So again, we can see the 4x of the generic, the monster generic to call things out. Otherwise, the deck is pretty similar to the other one that we saw, except this one's not running the 1x of the PG, but like we still have the 4 Polpolutes, 2 Jumbo Scrushers, 2 of the what was it, the Savawad, right? And then the order stuff is just pumping the order. It's running the Regulus piece now. It's like 5 regulars. Before the before the Elite Glimmer decks were just so good that you didn't need to even run a Regulus piece. But now running this one can search your Moe Flash, right? They can help you search your Moe Flash, or help you search for other cards that dig for Moe Flash. So I guess that works out pretty well, right? I guess that works out pretty well. This one's not running that one order that buffs the Vanguard though. So that's interesting, right? I feel like, is there enough selections here? There's like 7 different set orders. Is that enough? Is that enough? I don't know. But yeah, these one plugged in 2 heals, so hasn't gone full degen, but no PGs, right? So again, the same idea of Elite Glimmer still can kill you. It is what it is. Next is the Artisaria. Artisaria, I think it's gotten this new card right from DBT10, and it allows it to countercharge. So that's actually pretty huge. When you've played Artisaria before, Counterblast has always been annoying. It's gotten better, but it meant that you couldn't just keep on spamming cards to draw, which is basically Velfor. Yeah, you can't just keep on spamming her to draw cards. You need to CV1 for her, like Artisaria's effect. But now you can, and I think that just makes it way better. Makes it a lot better. Maybe not tier 1 good, but still good. Okay. Orphis. So I think one of the unexpected things that you forget with Orphis is that it runs set orders. I mean, how can you forget? But yeah, no, it runs set orders, which means it does benefit from the... It's called Magni Deaths, right? So it's just it benefits from the generic. That's like just one of the things I want to say. Yeah, a lot of people have been having fun. They're going, oh, Orphis is back with the new order and stuff. And yeah, it does get some support. It does get some slight support with the new generic. So it can be taken, right? People have been taking it. Or one person has. And then another Starshon, right? Another Starshon list. Slightly different from the other ones. And then after that, the Shiranui again. So another Shiranui running the same idea of the grade 2 and the new grade 1 to kind of dig. But also running some of the orders. So I'm running the set, or not set orders, just normal orders here as well. And then Shoujo Doji. So this Shoujo Doji, I was trying to find out if it ran anything strange, but it doesn't. It just runs the full stealth stuff. Pretty much like the old Shoujo Doji, except with certain cards banned. That's that. And then lastly, we do have another prison that made it. Again, nothing that's too outstanding. This one's running way less defensive stuff. Not even running rank 8 or TB 2-1, but instead of running 2 of this blitz order. So technically it brings up the defensive stuff to 5, which I guess is okay. But yeah, that's the last deck we're seeing today. Right? It's gonna be Seraph Snow. So that's it for me, right? Let me know in the comments below if you want to see every single deck, if you want to see every single Virgil list, or you know, Bav Saga list. You can go check out VG Paradox. Again, Fuzzy doing Gods of Work. But that's it. That's just my kind of quick overview on some of the more interesting decks from set 10. And I'll see you all next time. All right. Bye.